Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Really, guys?
What? Jackson's always had their game ready.
Let's go!
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Kenzie with Boise State Soccer. When I moved to Boise, I thought I was ready for anything. Training, no problem. New teammates, bring it on. But driving on snow and ice, yeah, that was a whole new challenge. Here in Boise, winters mean real weather. That's why I'm so grateful for my Ford all-wheel drive. If you're new to Boise or just ready for a safer winter, head to Lithia Ford of Boise. Come check out the full lineup of all-wheel drive vehicles at Lithia Ford of Boise. And when you buy here, you're supporting Boise State athletics. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
we doing, Bronco Nation? Good morning. Welcome to Lithia Ford of Boise. My name is BJ Rains. This is Jay Tust with Bronco Studios. Special on-location broadcast today. Jay, we, for the time being, have internet and power, and we're good to go here. Jim Sturk got us hooked up, and appreciate being here. We'll talk to Jim in a little bit, but always fun to talk Boise State and NIL, and what better place than Lithia Ford of Boise.
Yeah, no, Jim and Ford do a ton for Bronco Studios as well, Boise State athletics in general, and I kind of just got lost in the parking lot a little bit there, just doing a little dreaming myself. But inside, nice, comfy, cozy in here, and ready to roll for a good show. Yeah, you walk in here, and doesn't take very long to see on the walls and around here that they are heavily involved and heavily supportive of Boise State. And you look all around, like I said, the facilities and the different arenas and stadiums and the commercials and things. I mean, you see the Ford logo a lot of places around Boise State. Yeah, but it's funny. It's not funny. It's important. Like, in order for this to grow and get to where it needs to, and for Boise State to be competitive, these are all things that are necessary in the current landscape of college athletics. So it plays a big role in helping Boise State achieve success on the field, and a lot of these athletes are also successful off the field for that matter too. They've got Ben Ford, which makes perfect sense. Oh gosh, it's so perfect. Was talking to Jim, we'll get him on here in a little bit. Is there a local kid and has a last name Ford? Like, if there was, I don't care if he plays or not, that's the perfect one. And now he's going to be a big time contributor next year. And why that's a good fit though too is Ben's just a great human, man, and he's resilient and like built Ford tough. It is way too perfect. Ben's coming back from another injury, but recently announced that he was able to get that additional year of eligibility, and he plans on returning for the Boise State football team in 2026. So we wish him the best of luck in his recovery, and hopefully see him on a field soon. Now, I knew he was expected to get it, but somebody asked Sky Shipper, did he has officially gotten it? He has officially received. Right. Yeah, and actually, I think you never know with the NCAA. You really don't. It actually happened maybe a couple months ago, and I still think that you have to, run out all the ground balls, if you will. But no, he's coming back. He's excited and ready to get back from another injury. It's fun. We had him in Bronco Studios the other day, and it's funny, BJ, because I think we all know about he tore the ACL against UNLV, and just at that point in time, what was it? 21 catches, 325 yards, 5 touchdown receptions. Those 5 TD receptions still led the team, by the way, even though he only played about half the season. But he walks into Bronco Studios and he's got a big sling on his arm. So, he had to have his shoulder put back. Yeah, multiple surgeries. Yeah, he is just truly a tough kid, truly built Ford tough, if you will. And I'm excited to see Ben back because he's just a tremendous kid. I've known him for a long, long time. I've seen him come back from this injury twice now, once in college, once in high school. He was dynamic in high school, and we saw him dynamic last year for the football team. And, I think, BJ, like when it comes to a consistent piece on offense, like Ben was just starting to become that. And then when he went down, I know not long after that, Maddox also suffered an injury. But I think you saw like the offense missed Ben Ford and his consistencies. And who would have said that a year or two ago? I don't know. We'd say that. I mean, it goes down to South Florida. I know we all want to forget the result, but like he was one of the consistent pieces on offense. And let's face it, there were some times last year where Boise State had some drop issues. Ben Ford did not have those drop issues. And so, I think that moving forward, they're excited about a lot of guys in that room. And a big reason why is that Ben Ford's one of them. And on top of that, Ben Ford is now an experienced guy that's been through it, understands the standard, all of that, and now he can lead that room. And I'm excited for Ben's voice to be amplified a little bit this year because I think the team needs that. People are maybe had missed your show or need to go back and watch that, I guess, because a lot of people weren't aware that he had gotten officially the extra year. So good, yeah. Good to know on that. That's also the funny thing about Ben, though. He's just humble. Like he's one of those kids like you should announce it, and he's like, should I? And I was like, I think it was pretty much a foregone conclusion. It was a little bit like I don't think it was like a huge secret or whatever. And I think that, well, let's face it, when we saw he landed an ideal with Lithia Ford, yes. that kind of was that obviously was a little foreshadowing, if you will. Yeah. But, he's back, and that's great for the football team. So they've got Ben Ford here. They recently announced Matt Wagner, also now keeping the tight end tradition alive. Riley Smith was the first and was the first to appear
in a commercial in his jersey, and that goes back a couple years, kind of at the start of this NIL stuff. Then it went to Matt Lauder, and now Matt Wagner. They still have Roger Carrion as well. Yeah. They have 3 women's athletes as well. So, and I know Jeremiah and Spencer and a lot of the vehicles, not necessarily NIL deals, but they have a lot of different athletes and coaches and people that they're taking care of.
And don't forget the basketball team with Julian Bowie, right?
I was going to get there as we transition into basketball.
So, I think the thing that's cool too is the type of athlete that these guys get. Talking about Kenzie McMillan, the soccer player, right? She is top 5 all time in Boise State in goals scored, in total points, and on top of that, she used her NIL deal for a good cause last year.
And Cage Casey as well.
Where she'd raised nearly $40,000. So Cage Casey, you're right, did that with pancake blocks. And now all of a sudden you hear a little bit of a buzz throughout the athletic department that even more student athletes are looking to do that. And I know that Lithia Ford and Jim and Jamie and the team here is helping facilitate that. But I think that what like a cool, authentic, genuine way to turn NIL into a good thing for your community. And I don't think you could speak enough about how cool that is that some of these Boise State student athletes wanted to engage in that.
Yeah, and we play the commercial with Kenzie McMillan before every show. And
on that note, they retained her even after her playing career was done for the next 6 months. Yeah. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, and you mentioned almost $40,000, incredible. And then with I think it was Cage Casey had $300 for every pancake block, and there was a lot of matches for that, and that went to the was it the food bank? I believe the Idaho Food Bank.
Yeah, you need to. I know you're getting Jim on here in a little bit. Ask him about that specifically because I know that was a really moving experience, and he can speak to it much better than I can because he was actually there and actually a part of it. So but that was pretty neat. You need to ask him about that.
But just the history in here, you see obviously the old Sports Illustrated covers going way back and stuff, but all the different athletes that are on here, and I hate to say it, and this is obviously a conversation we'll have with Jim, Jay, and we are going to transition to basketball here in a minute, but NIL these days, I mean, if you don't have folks like Jim Sturk and Lithia and all kinds of businesses around town that are willing to step up and help these guys, it truly is a game changer here.
Yeah, and something that can't be undervalued in the process too is I think that relationships like this and even other ones we see around town too, it's not – it might seem transactional in terms of here is this, you are this, but like these guys really do learn a lot about the business side of things and how that works. And I really think ask Riley Smith about it, like how much it helped him kind of grow throughout this NIL partnership. So I think that things like that are really, really neat and cool.
Well, you mentioned Julian Bowie. You can see him barely in the shot behind us here. I forgot one of the cords to back the camera up, so the shot's not as wide and as perfect as I'd prefer. We're cutting off the top of some of the folks' heads up there, but you can see Julian Bowie there, and he had a deal, and I guess say proud. I don't know what the right word is, but the connection with Julian and Jim Sturk was made at the BNN golf tournament, and Julian was out there on a NIL deal for another one of our sponsors. I believe it was Signature Roofing, and he was out there hitting tee shots for folks. And Jim struck up a conversation, and I believe he can prove me wrong if I'm wrong. I think that's how it started, and one thing led to another. And I know Julian's going through a tough time, obviously, in this season, but Lithia Ford is helping him with a vehicle and taking care of him, and that's pretty cool and cool to see.
Yeah, and I know that, by the way, Julian's sitting out this season, but he is still making an impact in practice. He still shows up every day. You hear a lot of the guys talk about how talented and how much effort the practice squad right now gives. And if you listen to all the interviews, like every now and then it really, truly does come up. And BJ, I don't remember how many times in the past that's been the case, but Julian's a key component on that practice squad. And think when you're preparing for a shooter, and you got Julian on your practice squad. You're going to get ready for games if you have somebody like that.
As an aside, the manager games, I want to do a story on that, or like maybe we can broadcast that somehow or something.
Sometimes you look at it and you're like, man, they got a squad.
I was gonna say it's almost not fair when you have Lexus Williams and sometime Berto or Kobe Carl, whoever's showing up to play in these games. Max Teams, I guess, should be up there, but they're like ranked in the top 10. I saw in the manager rankings. So cool, good for them. Yeah. But he's Jay Tust. My name's BJ Rains. We are live at Lithia Ford of Boise. Come on out. They got plenty of new 26s showing up. They got some great deals on some 2025s as well. that they're trying to, move and get off the lot to make room for these new vehicles. We've got a vehicle from here. I believe you purchased a vehicle from here as well, Jay. So come on out, Lithia Ford of Boise, and they're ready to help you if you're looking for a new vehicle. But Jay was in Albuquerque over the weekend. I know you had Dylan Andrews on the show yesterday. Folks should go back and watch that. Dylan Andrews always great, and he was in Bronco Studios yesterday talking about heck of a run here for Boise State, Jay. I mean, they were 1-5 in conference, 4 losses in a row, flying back late night after an overtime loss to UNLV, and folks are wondering, is this thing going to kind of spiral out of control? And you look up now, and they're 7-6 in conference. They've won 6 out of 7. They're looking better with each and every game. And I think folks early on wouldn't say, oh, look, they're just beating teams in the bottom of the standings, whatever. These last 2 games to pull out the win against Nevada, and in particular go to the pit with that atmosphere and win that game. That was just a heck of a win.
I think after last week, I think we saw what we needed to see in order to, set a realistic expectation for the rest of the season. And, you look at some of the metrics, BJ, and they got a long, long ways to go. Let's face it. And maybe with some of the stuff that has happened so far this season, you don't want to leave yourself on Selection Sunday without an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. But I will say this, if you can go win in the pit, if you look at the history of Boise State basketball, if you can go win at the pit, you will be one of the finest teams in the Leon Rice era. When they went to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, 2 of those teams went down to the pit and they won in Albuquerque, right? So it bodes well for a team that has the toughness, the talent to go down there and pull out a scrappy victory. And that's exactly what they did. And, is talking with Dylan on the show the other day, they won 91-90 in Albuquerque. And they go 25 of 26 at the free throw line.
Unreal.
That is
Dylan 10 of 10 himself.
Dylan goes 10 of 10. Dylan is one of 3 players in the last 20 years to go 10 of 10 or better at the free throw line in Albuquerque. At least 10 attempts and 1,000% from the free throw line. He's one of 3 players in the last 20 years to do that. Think how many games have been played in the pit over the last 20 years, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of teams that roll into the pit and score 91 points. But talking with Dylan after the yesterday on Bronco Studios Live and what was going on at the free throw line, he said, I had to make every one of them. I had to.
Literally.
He goes, even at the end of the game, when he makes 2 free throws to put them up 4, if he misses one of those, we're headed to overtime because New Mexico comes back down and hits a 3 right at the buzzer and pulls back to within 1. So he had to. What did he have to do? I had to make all of them. I had to.
They could have lost that game if they didn't make all the free throws they did. And down the stretch in particular, I know Javen hit some.
Man, I'm not. I don't want to. We're not jinxing anybody, but Javen's been efficient from the free throw line.
No doubt.
I'll leave it at that.
Mark's wondering what's wrong with Andrew Meadow. His production has fallen off the roof. Well, unlike somebody in last night's game that I was watching, Andrew Meadow at least tried to tough it out with flu-like symptoms there. He was struggling, I believe, as well. RJ Keene couldn't play because of the flu, and my understanding was that Andrew hadn't practiced and tried to give it a go, and obviously only had a couple of points. But those are pretty. Dylan Andrews' numbers, when he plays well, they win. Andrew Meadow as well. When he's getting 10+ shots, they're winning the majority of the time as well.
That's almost like a key to their success, BJ. When he gets his shots up, I think it's the benchmark's 9 or more.
Okay.
They are really, really tough to beat. But yeah, there's more to that story because Andrew's been very, very good this season. Maybe some struggles at the free throw line against Nevada, obviously. But as far as the New Mexico game, this is actually the second time this season where this team has kind of dealt with the a wave of the flu bug. And the first time, I don't think it was
it Utah State or was it Grand Canyon?
I don't think it was talked about a lot just because it would have came off as an excuse. But they had some guys that were struggling through. Those games were right by each other, BJ. So I'm not saying that's the reason they lost. Not saying that. But I'm just saying they were dealing with some stuff at that time. So Andrew Meadow specifically, I think that he's on the right track to getting back to, full strength.
Well, we talk NIL and Drew Fielder and Dylan Andrews, two of the highest paid players Boise State's ever had in NIL, and they brought them in from big time places to do what they did the other night at the pit. I mean, if those guys play like that, this team is obviously going to be very tough to beat. But those guys both finally, I hate to say earning their paycheck, but I mean, it's been at times an up and down season for both those guys. But the last couple of games here, and particularly down there in the pit, both those guys were just huge.
They were superstars. I mean, like they were. I know we like to say like, oh, that's unbelievable in sports, but man, if you would have told me that Drew Fielder would go down to the pit, hit 5 threes, that Dylan would go down, also hit 5 threes and not miss a free throw on a shot volume of 10 free throw attempts, score 33 in Albuquerque, like, man, I would have looked at you, BJ, and be like, I don't know, man, that kind of sounds like a stretch. And these guys both had just like unbelievable performances. Drew Fielder with a 4-point play. I mean, it was awesome basketball. And I think the cool thing about that, looking back at that game too, BJ, is that this game, at times, like maybe success has ebbed and flowed and against Grand Canyon here in Boise and even on the road, I guess, or Utah State, that, some of those runs that normally put this game back in it, they were fleeting. But even down in Albuquerque, and I mean, you were there, even as the game got tight, I never really got worried. It just felt like they were going to finish the job. And I got to say, by the way,
I wasn't as confident as you were there.
I looked at a stat sheet that said they were 25 of 26, but going back and looking at the official stats, it was 26 of 27.
Oh, somebody made sure to call us out on that.
I want to make sure that. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Somebody did. Of course,
I wanted to correct myself on that. So I think it was ESPN after the game might have had 25 of 26, but the official stats had 26 of 27. So I needed to bring that back up.
BSU Bill saying, I haven't seen it this morning. Joe Lenardi, next 4 out, still has Boise State within 8 spots of an NCAA tournament spot. And I would just say, like, people can laugh, whatever, but like, to keep moving up, they're going to have to keep winning. And if they were to somehow win out in the regular season, like I looked yesterday, they have 3 quad 1 wins. Like it's not a topic right now, but next 4 out doesn't really surprise me because that assumes they're going to maybe win the final 7 games of the regular season. And if you were to go get a win in Logan and you beat San Diego State at home, like there are some big time quad 1 opportunities still left on the schedule. They're not close to it right now.
Well, that doesn't even, and that's just on the regular season schedule, because when they get down to the Mountain
which
West
unfortunately we've seen, though, that doesn't usually,
I guess
they usually decide before then, but maybe not. I still would say, Jay, it's 98% they're going to have to win the conference tournament here to get in. I don't think they can really should be looking at Joe Lenardi's bracket. But the fact that he has them there just says, man, if they hadn't lost that UNLV game or hadn't lost that game at San Diego State, which who knows what that would have led to. But you got the numbers here, Jay.
Well, you're looking at this, like their sheet is relatively clean in quad 3 and quad 4. Now they're 6-1 in quad 3. They're 2-0 in quad 4. But that one quad 1 loss was against UNLV in Vegas. Right now, UNLV is 138 in the net rankings. The top 136, that would push into the quad 2, right? So they would have a clean sheet in quad 3 and quad 4, which is important. It doesn't count. I'm just going to pretend like it doesn't.
I don't know how cool. You can argue how clean the sheet is.
It doesn't count, right? So it counts somewhere on it, but for the sake of this conversation, it doesn't land in the quad. Talking about Hawaii Pacific. And then you look at it and you're like, they have 3 quad 1 wins right now, which is tied with Utah State for the most. And they still have a quad 1 opportunity at Utah State. Right now, none of the other remaining games would technically fall into quad 1. San Diego State is at 42. Considering Boise State hosts that game, the Aztecs would have to push into the top 30. That's probably an unrealistic jump to think that they could move that far, but this team's headed back in the right direction, BJ. It's just on January 6th, they were 44th in the net rankings. An unfortunate stretch of basketball dropped them all the way to 80th 5 days later. And now they have just, worked their way back to 54 in a nice little upward trend. So, we'll see if they can stay on that upward trend. But, it is not likely. I'm not saying it's realistic by any means.
Come on, Jay, give them some hope.
But the dreams, it isn't dead. Like, it is not dead by any means.
If they win every game in the regular season, if they win out the regular season, That'd be we mentioned a couple more quad 1 wins, but that would be, what have they already won? 6 of their last 7. That'd be 12 of 13 to end the regular season.
Yeah, and you're sitting at,
So if that happens, then we can talk about it being a possibility.
You're sitting at 22-9 going into the Mountain West Conference tournament, and being one of the hottest teams in college basketball. If you do truly roll off 13 of 14, total. I will say this though, like if we're being realistic, I would expect some type of slip up there somewhere along the way. Again, I'm not saying they can't go to Logan and win. If Dylan,
I'll tell you what, if they win Friday night and have all this momentum rolling, I mean, and they already have a win at New Mexico, they're at least going to go down there feeling like they have a chance to win.
Absolutely, and if Dylan Andrews plays like he had, like he did against Nevada and New Mexico, I'm sorry, I might be foolish, and that's fine. But if he can play like that, there's not a team in the league they can't beat, especially on a neutral court.
I teased this last Friday. I guess they never ended up announcing it, but they did announce it just now, at least part of it. Jay, I know you know about this. We're not going to give the name out yet. I guess they're going to do that on Friday night. But if you're they're having an event on Friday night before the UNLV game. They sent out a tweet about it. 6 o'clock is when it's going to start for the basketball team. It's over, I believe, in the Hall of Fame.
It is,
and they are basically going to announce the name of the new fan section for I guess it's going to be where section 12 is, right? The other end of the arena. They're going to do the fan section with the fan wall, I guess, to go opposite the student section. They're trying to get folks to get in there. They're going to have some cool things in terms of ticket prices and the name, and it's really going to be cool. And they're trying to get some folks, I think, to sign up for the tickets early and things like that. I know there's some cool promotions. I don't know what's in the release and what I was told that I shouldn't say, but you have to RSVP online. So if you want to go to this event, it's free. And they're going to have, I believe, some food and a bar there. And you can hang out. And here's
they might have somebody at this table sitting on the left side of it, emceeing it. Like
you might have somebody on the right side doing a live broadcast from there. So there you go. All right. So, we're looking forward to that. But that's as they kind of get ready for this Pac-12, Jay. I know the reseeding's got some people upset a little bit, but I know this is going to be a cool thing in terms of that. They're trying to get like the south end zone, basically all those crazies in the south end zone to just fill up, section 12. And they got a cool name for it and some cool details on tickets. And they're going to do that coming up. And then it sounds like you're going to be emceeing the event. It's going to be pretty cool. 6 o'clock on Friday before the UNLV game.
It'll be a lot of fun. More details to come. I do know that if you show up and you are on the early side of this, there could be some potential incentives, I guess, or might cost you a little less to do it now versus in the future. So this is all part of just the effort by the marketing team and people that are way smarter and more talented than I am, led by my fearless leader boss Chris Coots. That they're doing a good job right now trying to push this thing forward. And I know that, at times that, it might create a little discomfort, but I think it's important to push it forward, and movement is necessary. Like you don't want to stay stagnant. If you stay stagnant in college sports today, you're going to get left behind. And so to see these ideas coming up, shout out to the Morales brothers too, a couple of the most passionate members of Bronco Nation. And, it's gonna be fun. Come out on Friday. Get there a little bit early. Come hang out with us and other cooler people than the two of us as well, and then hang out and watch a really good college basketball game that means a lot to this basketball team.
Yeah, if nothing else, come have a drink or some food and hang out. And even if you're not going to be a part of that section, just give you something to do pregame before the game. 6 o'clock. They do want you to RSVP though, so you got a day or two. They just tweeted that out this morning, and you can check that out for the fan section party on Friday night. All right, we are going to get Jim Sturk in here from Lithia Ford of Boise. I want to thank a couple sponsors while we get Jim set up here, Jay. Sun Cruiser, appreciate Sun Cruiser. If you want to get whether it's the vodka iced teas, the lemonade iced teas, they got you covered at Sun Cruiser. Pick up a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Mentioned Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. ICCU.com. We appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. You can check them out online. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. And Jay, also shout out to the women's basketball team. They won again. Yeah. And they've got Natalie Pasco as one of their NIL members as well. So we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. Hope you took advantage of the Jackson 75-cent fountain drink. That was yesterday because it was on Saturday, so it's 2 days, but 75 points gets you a 75-cent fountain drink. We appreciate our friends at Jackson's. Shout out Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. The SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, appreciate them. Get out and visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. And the Blue and Orange store, it's what is it, a stripe out, Jay, on Friday, I believe. So if you need the right, check the map, see what color you need, and get on out to the Blue and Orange store, and check out all the Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com. All right, we're going to be back with Jim Sturk in 30 seconds. We mentioned Kenzie McMillan. Here she is with a word for Lithia Ford.
Hey, Bronco Nation, this is Kenzie with Boise State Soccer. When I moved to Boise, I thought I was ready for anything. Training, no problem. Your teammates, bring it on. But driving on snow and ice, yeah, that was a whole new challenge. Here in Boise, winters mean real weather. That's why I'm so grateful for my Ford all-wheel drive. If you're new to Boise or just ready for a safer winter, head to Lithia Ford of Boise. Come check out the full lineup of all-wheel drive vehicles at Lithia Ford of Boise, and when you buy here, you're supporting Boise State athletics. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
All right, Jim Sturk joins us now. And Jim, who would have thought I don't know how long it's been since you had Riley, but 4, 5, 6 years ago that you would have had an athlete in a jersey doing a commercial like that?
It's pretty cool, I must say. We had a good time with Riley, and then we've just continued on. So, with some other athletes since then. So it's been good.
And you were the first. I know I always bring this up, but you were the first. You were the pioneer in terms of having a Boise State athlete in a jersey on the field. There was some stuff where people would do stuff where they could wear a blue T-shirt, but it couldn't have anything Boise State on it or whatever. You were the first to officially kind of link up your deal with the NIL.
Well, because we had a sponsorship package with Boise State, and so you can use jerseys and helmets and the logo, and I thought that was important.
Yeah, but I think Riley Smith, right? He was the first one, and you kind of set the way now that we're seeing with some others.
Yeah, walking around in his number 3 jersey.
Hey, Jim, how cool is it though? Because I think that at times, and I know you give a lot, but when athletes might come to you and they want to talk to you about becoming a partner almost with you, like. How encouraging is cool is that? I mean, I remember talking with Jonah Dalmas a couple of years ago, and seeing he had all of his ducks in a row, and I'm like, man, Jim's gonna love you. And then the next thing I know, he's driving a car, right? but how cool is it when athletes also take part in this and engage with you to create a partnership?
Yeah, it is incredible. You forget that they're such young people, right? When they come in to visit, and they're Division I athletes, there's something different about them, right? They're wired a little bit differently. They're just way more prepared and just put together, I guess is what you would say. And you forget some of these kids, 18, 19, 20 years old is all they are. They're not 30. Right? They're not even graduates.
Yeah.
And so, they do. It's hard to pick. I got to tell you, it's hard to say no. It's hard to pick. Because we have interviewed some great kids, and it's hard to send them a note saying, hey, we're going to only go with so many kids this year.
And I believe Riley Smith also was one that I know there might have been a connection with somebody, a friend or something, but kind of one that came in and gave his sales pitch to you why he deserved one, right?
Yeah, and we had never looked at the space. We were thinking that we probably weren't even going to play in that space. He knew a receptionist that we had hired, and she asked if I'd talk to him. I was like, yeah, just have him come visit. And he showed up, and we spent, 45 minutes talking, and I was like, I got to do a deal with this kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you say, only so many, but Jim, the roster's grown to be,
we've had some great kids.
Yeah, you almost got one side of the football on offense in terms of the amount of representatives you have up there. But another thing, a number of different sports represented, both male and female athletes. And I got to say, when you look at some of the work that some of the women put in that you do partnerships with here, I mean, they're tremendous on social media.
They're fantastic.
It's really cool to see how seriously they take it.
They are fantastic. They've since we initially signed Paige, I don't know. I guess females are a lot more comfortable videoing themselves and shooting themselves.
Step up, boy! Come on, guys.
I don't know, but it was a great move for us to venture. And when we started with Paige back in the day, and then then continuing on with some female athletics.
Yeah. The neat thing about it too, and I suggest that you go follow them on social media, just because the way that they do it, they also kind of give you a day in the life, a peek behind the scenes of what it takes to be a Division I athlete playing at a very high caliber at a school like Boise State. So it is really some cool content to go check out.
Yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. to go do their workout, and then they get breakfast, and then they, then they got to go do the class thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Sturk, I say our guest, but we're kind of your guests here at Lithia Ford of Boise, hanging out, talking for a few minutes. And Jim, how crazy? I mean, we're talking NIL here. What is it like for you just to see? I mean, you're providing vehicles and things, but there's a lot higher level stuff at some of these schools and things going on. Like, what's it like for you just as a business owner, as a supporter of the school financially, as a booster, with the deals with, Boise State, but also with the athletes, to see just how crazy the landscape is of NIL deals around the country. And we're seeing lawsuits and guys wanting to leave and not leaving and then coming back. And we saw the one at Duke, they end up letting him go, and then they wouldn't at Washington. And just what do you make of just how crazy this has all gotten?
That's exactly the word. Crazy. It's actually it's out of hand. What I like about what we do is we get to create a partnership with a young athlete to PR our product and our place and the big cash stuff and all of that. I just don't know what that does for whether it's a business or whatever. It seems like there's a diminishing return somewhere. It's interesting because it changes every single year, and it's the one kid got a buyout.
Yeah,
like what the hell's going on?
That's what we all say, Jim. I'm not gonna lie, but here's the deal. I think that that news gets so much attention and so much reaction on social media. And I know Jeremiah Dickey often talks about authentic NIL, like in the true spirit of what NIL was meant to be. And so many of these arrangements are in the true spirit of NIL. And people like Kenzie McMillan and even Cage Casey just take this into another area that does not get enough credit. But this is the spirit of NIL that should be celebrated, in my opinion.
So, yeah, and that's now a new part of our interview process is there an attachment to a nonprofit? And there's a lot around Boise. There's a lot to be a part of. And, Cage pulling us into that deal and Kenzie pulling us into her deal, it was awesome. Both of those, when we presented the checks, were awesome. Kind of emotional. I mean, Cage and we both almost lost it at the rescue mission. We were standing outside just before he was getting ready to leave to go down to Texas, and he goes, Jim, I got a little emotional in there. But so all of our new athletes are picking nonprofits that they can deal with, and we set aside a budget for the year for what we're going to do, and we'll make that that's going to be a part of our deal going forward.
Yeah, and there was, I know with Kenzie, some other businesses as well that stepped up, and I think Matt Bauscher was one of them.
Oh my goodness.
And so I mean, you guys made a very large donation, but there was multiple other businesses that stepped up.
It was $40,000.
$40,000.
Yeah. It's legitimate.
Like that's one of the best philanthropic efforts in our community.
And I hope this doesn't come out the right way, but also like it's a women's soccer player doing that, not a football player or a men's basketball player. Right. Maybe get more media attention, more hype, more people know who they are. Like if Kenzie McMillan can help raise $40,000, and I don't know what the final number was with Cage, I forget, but I mean, that just opens your eyes up to there could be some massive things like that moving forward here with some of the bigger well-known athletes.
So Cage's deal was ended up being it was 3,000 of his own and 3,000 of ours. So it ended up $6,000 for the Boise rescue mission. That is a ton.
Yep. It is.
It was a huge deal for them.
And again, Cage and his wife were a part of that.
Yeah. I asked him if I could fund it, and he goes, no. Kirsten and I are doing it. He goes, but you can match it.
Yeah. And those are the stories that get a little lost in, at the end of this thing at times. Like those are the stories that get a little lost.
No doubt. And you mentioned the buyouts and things like that, Jim. We don't have to name them, but you had an athlete that you had to deal with and transferred.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens on both sides, I guess.
It happens. Maybe we thought initially when we signed a few of the athletes a few years back that maybe, being able to drive a new Ford truck would keep somebody here, but it's not. It's cash that'll keep them or drag them away. It's not being able to drive a vehicle. So we do it for the athlete and for some PR. I mean, it's a good business move on our part.
Yeah. Do you ever see it? I mentioned how crazy it's getting. Do you ever see? Do you see it leveling out at all, or where's the end game here? Some of this.
I would have never thought it got to this point.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. When you say level out, I would have bet anything it would never be where we are right now.
Yeah. Give us a thought on Jeremiah Dickey and just the department, and you're obviously very close over there with a lot of the coaches and the athletic department personnel, but just the future of this program. We see the North End Zone getting ready to be done here this summer. Obviously basketball teams, on a hot streak right now. I know there's a lot of excitement about what Spencer's got going on. Just as someone that's tight in close, and as I said, a very big financial backer, what's just your big picture take on what you see going over there at Boise State?
Well, if you're new to town, maybe you have your alma mater or whatever, you have your college team, but adopt another one, right? Become a part of it. It's really cool. I moved here a long time ago, and it took me a few years to get involved, and I never look back. I think it was the best move we could have made for our business. Me personally, it's been great. I've got to meet some fantastic people along the way, but I just think, if you're part of the community, somehow, some way, you got to get involved in what goes on that campus, because it's awesome. And I'm not just talking football.
Yeah.
Awesome. But go to a soccer game.
That Boise State logo, that brand is powerful.
Yeah.
I think that we all know the Ford brand is awfully powerful, but to see both of those brands elevate and amplify each other in our local community, it shows what's possible. And you're exactly right. I went to the Mountain West Championship, the soccer, standing room only.
Nuts.
You could barely find a place to even look at the field. It was an outstanding atmosphere. I took my 5-year-old daughter.
Nuts.
We had a blast. We got
the
red
volleyball
vines
games
and
are fun.
We went to gymnastics the other night. Record-setting crowd, almost 3,000 people showed up to watch the gymnastics meet the other night.
I had heard the volleyball's thinking of changing venues, and I can't imagine it, because that place,
Bronco Gym,
that place
just
rocked.
Yeah.
It's so
you get it's just that tight. It's a little hot and almost a little humid when you get a lot of people in there. A tremendous home court, and their record also backs that up.
Jim, speaking of business here, comment here from Christine. Jim, my husband loves his 26 Ford diesel he bought from Lithia Ford in January.
Boom.
Thanks for keeping him happy. Great service too. So
all right.
Give us a quick rundown here. I know there's some great deals going on right now.
There's so much going on right now. It's really hard to keep up with, right? Gosh, we just came out of the year-end sales event, which was fantastic. And so we were a little bit worried that we were going to be low on inventory, but we're in good shape. And Ford has kept the incentives. You got some 0% financing out there. You got some large rebates. There's some really good lease programs. It's nice to know that Ford is actually back into the leasing business. So when you want that maybe a little bit nicer rig and you want a lower payment, that's a great avenue to go. Plus, certified Ford used vehicles and such. I mean, it's a good time.
8853 West Fairview Avenue. Hopefully folks will come check it out here. Jim, we always appreciate you. And Jay, what do we got coming up on tomorrow's Bronco Studios?
Bronco Studios.
You can promote yesterday's again if you want, if you're still looking for your guests for tomorrow.
Well, as long as we're talking about some of this goodwill, and there's an athlete on campus working closely with Bronco Bold, which might end up, being something that I don't want to spill too much there. I'm gonna save that for them. But it's a pretty fun thing that they got going on, and it started with Kenzie McMillan, and you're seeing this goodwill spread throughout the athletic department. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. The Boise State women have a basketball game tomorrow night.
And in Fresno, I believe.
Yep, they're back-to-back road games for them. So a big-time challenge. They take on Fresno, then they travel up to Laramie. Wyoming was really, really good last year. They got off to a slow start, but they're building momentum in conference play right now. So it'll be another fun show, and then we get to start to turn our attention towards a big showdown Friday night at the X.
Yeah, we're going to have Libby Hutton on Friday morning as they get set for the.
Libby's awesome.
Yeah,
she's outstanding. And 25-9 against Fresno. She was outstanding in their road win, in their home win over the weekend. So Libby's awesome. She's a big part of that team.
What do you think about the Bronco Studios? I know Ford's a big sponsor of that, and just the way that they're trying to elevate the media game and things, and what Jay's doing with the shows. And I know that you were obviously you're a big backer of that. With the Ford, sponsored by Ford.
Well, we certainly fought to get our sign up outside there. It was a little battle, and they kept waiting and waiting. I was like, I'm right here. I'm right here, guys. Can we get the name up? Let's go. I understand what they're trying to do out there, and every little place that the school can raise a little bit extra money through Bronco Sports Properties or whatever it is. I get it, but we wanted that bad because the way it would badge right next to the ticket office, and all cool. it looks cool.
Even when like it gets like that dusk or even nighttime, and it's lit up. Oh, it looks pretty sweet.
It looks good. It's and plus Jay, Jay's connection here in the sports world in the town.
Yeah.
After coming out doing the Friday Night Lights, right?
Yep.
And just that connection, I thought them hiring Jay. As soon as I heard that, I believe I told Jeremiah. As soon as I heard that, I was like, we want the name on that deal.
That's humbling of you to say.
I just thought it made sense.
You've been a longtime supporter of our product even before I worked at Boise State, but it's awesome. We're really grateful for you and your support. And hey, like you, I mean, I'm a little bit of a transplant as well. I was born and raised in Tacoma, Washington, and I moved to Boise, which is now 15 years ago, which is insane. But I freaking love this place, man. I'm all in with this community and this school, and I'm not leaving. So you're stuck with me.
So we talked about Kenzie. Her parents are building a house.
Yep.
In Eagle. Mm-hmm. And maybe I shouldn't have said that, but
no, I think that's how.
She said it.
But my interview with her was she wasn't leaving. We didn't really know what kind of deal that was going to be because it was such a short-term deal. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to ride this out after she graduates and goes into, looking for a job and so on and so forth. And she's had some interviews, and I just got to tell you, I said on your show the other day, whoever gets her is going to score.
Yep. Yeah. She's a rock star. Absolute rock star.
Well, appreciate both of you guys for your help with Bronco Nation News.
Back at you, BJ.
And always appreciate. This is too much of a love affair going on over here. I got to get in here. But no, appreciate what you're doing for Boise State, what you're doing for us, Jim. Hopefully folks will come out here and take advantage. What are the weekend hours here if folks want to buy a car this weekend?
Oh, we're here all the time.
All right, all the time.
We're here.
They're ready to go.
9 a.m. to 8 on Saturday. We're here on Sunday. If you want to get your car worked on Saturday, we're here.
I should have scheduled my oil change while we were doing the show here. I didn't think about that. I'm due for an oil change. But Jim, appreciate it. Jay, appreciate it. Check out Bronco Studios. The show yesterday was good stuff. Who was the women's player I forgot you had on yesterday?
Yesterday. So, we had Maya Hansen.
That's right.
Recently went over 1,000 career points.
Yeah.
That gives Boise State starting lineup. They have 4 seniors. All have scored 1,000 points, and all of those points have been scored as Broncos.
Pretty cool. Wow. So Maya Hansen and Dylan Andrews, go back and watch yesterday's show. Get out. For some reason, I was thinking it was today's Friday. It's only what is today? Tuesday. Yeah. So you got all week to get out here and come buy a new vehicle from. I saw Bob Beeler driving around in his Bronco that he got out here. I know there's a lot of. We got our Ford vehicle. I think you got one here, Jay, too, right? So we come on out, get a new pre-owned whatever your suits you at Lithia Ford of Boise, and appreciate you guys. Go watch Bronco Studios, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News live from Lithia Ford. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Kenzie with Boise State Soccer. In Boise, winters show up strong, and so do we. Between work, family, and everything life throws our way, we need a vehicle we can count. That's why I drive a Ford Bronco with all-wheel drive. Right now, during our all-wheel drive sales event, you can get the safety and reliability you deserve. Come check out the full lineup of all-wheel drive vehicles at Lithia Ford of Boise. And when you buy here, you're supporting Boise State Athletics and Lithia Ford NIL partnerships. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.